The Bible clearly teaches us that generosity is always measured by the size of one's heart, not the amount of one's giving. Very important biblical principle, that generosity is expressed by the size of your heart, not the size of your gift. Now, we all agree, we saw it a moment ago, that David gave a very large gift for the building of the temple. No question about it. But it wasn't the size of his gift that impressed God. It was the size of David's heart. And sadly, in our culture today, we often measure generosity by the size of one's gift. We'll say, well, that person must be a really generous person. Look how much they gave. Look how much they did for so-and-so. Because they did this great, massive thing, then they are generous. No, you can be poor and generous. You can be limited in your resources and be generous. Why? Because generosity is not about the size of your gift. It's about the size of your heart. And God never expects any of us to give beyond our capabilities. If you're going to be a giver to others, then God says, I know that you're going to give out of what you have. And not everyone has the same amount in their life. Whether it comes to love or prayers or money or whatever it might be, we all are at a place of different resourcing in our life. And God will never ask you to give something that you don't have access to in your life. He asks an equal investment from all of us, equal stewardship by all of us. That's why there's a principle in Scripture called the tithe. The tithe is 10% of whatever God blesses you with is returned back to God. And the tithe is ultimately fair. It's ultimately fair because if you have $10, God says $1 belongs to me. It's the gift back to me. If you have $100, it's $10. $1,000, it's $100. And so the percentage, no matter what your resource might be, is fair, if you will. It's what God expects of us. He doesn't expect someone with $10 to give $100. And so he bases his expectations of our heart on the basis of the resources of our life. It's the principle that God looks at your heart. He doesn't look at the amount.